On Tuesday morning, Louis Beans guessed it would rain. 2 hours later, it did, and that single coincidence convinced him he understood weather. He tapped the window, bragged to Frank about natural instincts, ignored the warning that science works differently, and somehow earned a trial run at a Tausay. The disaster began almost instantly. In front of the green screen, Louis planted his feet, lowered his voice, and declared, "A storm's brewing. Chicago." The screen glitched. Half his body vanished into the map. The producer groaned into the headset while Frank doubled over laughing just off camera. Louis recovered by acting famous. He paced for the next hour, testing dramatic lines like atmospheric violence and a dangerous emotional front. The producer begged him to stop. The real weather anchor checked the report, saw 72 and sunny, and stared as Louis squinted at the ceiling, raised 2 fingers, and whispered, "I'm sensing tornado energy." His real enemy was the green screen itself. Louis kept turning around to touch storm clouds that were not there, stabbing at county lines and snatching his arm back whenever it vanished into the image. Frank said he looked haunted. Louis blamed the technology. The producer taped marks on the floor and gave strict instructions. "Stand here, do not move back, point at the front monitor, not the wall." Louis obeyed for 10 seconds, then drifted sideways and began naming cloud shapes. 5 minutes before air, Louis grew brighter instead of calmer. He insisted normal forecasts were boring, stared at a harmless patch of rain, and announced, "I'm calling her Linda." The anchor warned him that he could not name storms. Then the red light came on. For 3 perfect seconds, everything held. Louis smiled and began, "Good evening, everybody," then stepped too far sideways and vanished completely. On live television, only his floating head remained above the radar like a moon with opinions. The control room erupted. Voices shouted directions. Frank laughed so hard he cried. Louis kept talking with absolute confidence, invented sky moisture, claimed Linda was pushing east, and pointed from nowhere. At last, the real anchor stepped in, finished the forecast with actual cities and temperatures, and ended the madness. Louis was never invited back, but everyone at the station called incoming rain Linda for the rest of the week.